All right, guys, here we are. We're back. I actually didn't go anywhere. I decided to record the next one just because I'm here. I'm here at school. All right, so I'll walk around with you guys just for a second. I want to know what happened. Oh, sorry, I don't want to know. I want to know a prediction about what you guys think is going to happen in this next chapter. Now that the doll maker has Edward or Jangles or whatever else names he's been given, I want to know exactly what do you guys think is going to happen in this chapter? What is the doll maker going to do? Is he going to use them for different things? Is he going to lose them? Is he going to sell them? A lot of different options. Go and make a prediction right now. I'm literally just showing random stuff while I'm waiting. Okay, here we go. Into the next chapter, because we're almost done with the story. All right. And so Edward Tulane was mended, put together again, cleaned and polished, dressed in an elegant suit, and placed on a high shelf for display. From this shelf, Edward could see the whole shop, Lucius's Clark workbench, and the windows outside. From this shelf, Edward saw Bryce open the door one day and stand in the threshold, a silver harmonica in his left hand, flashing brilliantly in the sunlight. "Young sir," said Lucius, "I'm afraid we made a deal." "Can't I see him?" said Bryce, and he wiped his hand across his nose in a gesture that filled Edward with terrible feeling of loss. "I just want to look at him." Lucius Clark sighed. "You may look," he said, "you may look, then you must go and never come back. I cannot have you in my shop every day mourning over what you lost." "Yes, sir." Lucius sighed again. He got up from the workbench and went to Edward's shelf. "Hey, Jangles," said Bryce, "you look good. The last I saw you, you were terrible." He is put together again," said Lucius, "as I promised, as he would be." Bryce nodded. He wiped his hand across his nose. And here's your picture of Bryce entering and seeing Jangles. "Can I hold him?" "No." Tell him goodbye," said Lucius. "He is repaired. He has been saved. Now you must tell him goodbye." "Goodbye." "Don't go," thought Edward. "I won't be able to hear you go." "And now you must leave." "Yes, sir." "Go, go." "Please," thought Edward, "please." And Bryce turned. As he walked through the door at the doll of the mender shop, the door closed, the bell tinkled, and Edward was alone. Next chapter. Technically, of course, he was not alone. Lucius's Clark shop was filled with dolls, lady dolls, baby dolls, and a whole bunch of dolls, and dolls dressed as queens, and dolls dressed as sailors. Edward had never cared for dolls. He found them annoying, self-centered, twittery thing. This opinion was immediately reinforced by his first shelfmate, a china doll with green glass eyes. She was wearing a grass satin dress and fell to her knees. "What are you?" she said in a high-pitched voice. "I'm a rabbit." The doll let out a small squeak. "You're in the wrong place. This is a shop for dolls, not rabbits." Edward said nothing. "Shoo," said the doll. "I would love to shoo," said Edward, "but in this obvious, I can't." After a long silence, the doll said, "I hope you don't think that anyone's going to buy you." Again, Edward said nothing. "The people who come in here want dolls, not rabbits. They want baby dolls and elegant dolls like myself. Dolls with pretty dresses." "I have no interest in being purchased." The doll gasped. "You don't want somebody to buy you? You don't want to be owned by a girl who loves you?" Sarah Ruth, Abilene, their names went through Edward's head just like the notes of a sad, sweet song. "I have already been loved," said Edward. "I have been loved by a girl named Abilene. I have been loved by a fisherman and his wife and a hobo and his dog. I have been loved by a dog who played the harmonica and by a girl who died. Don't talk to me about love. I have known love." This impassionate speech shut up Edward's shelfmate for a considerable amount of time. "Well," she said at last, "still, my point is that no one is going to buy you." They did not speak to each other again. The doll was sold 2 weeks later to a grandmother who was purchasing her for a grandchild. "Yes," she said to Lucius Clark, "that one right there. She's quite lovely." "Yes, isn't she?" And he plucked the doll right off the shelf. Goodbye, and good riddance, thought Edward. The spot next to the rabbit lay vacant for some time. Day after day, the door to the shop opened and closed. One minute, letting in the early morning sun or late afternoon light, lifting the hearts of them. One second, guys. Yeah, no worries. Everybody's walking by, right? All right, I'm sorry about that. Back to it, guys. Lifting the hearts of the dolls inside, all of them thinking when the door swung around this time, the person entering the doll would be the one, shop would be the one who wanted them. Edward was the lone contrarian. He prided himself on not hoping and not allowing his heart to lift inside of him. I am done with hope, thought Edward. And then one day at dusk, right before he closed the shop, Lucius Clark placed another doll on the shelf next to Edward. And there's the doll. All right. So my questions are, guys, okay? I want to know, how did Bryce feel when he entered the shop? Again, how did Bryce feel when he entered that shop? All right, so Bryce felt. Give me his feelings. All right, and tell me about Edward's new, his tabletop mate, his coworker, the person that's next to him during that time. Okay, tell me about that girl. What do we know about her? Okay, oh, the doll. Tell me about the doll that was sitting next to Edward. All right, those are your 2 questions. I'll see you guys next week for the next chapters. We're almost done. I think there's like 2 or 3 chapters left. Have a good one. Peace.